Hello, everyone. My name is Terry Lineberger, and I'm just going to say a few words about how I met this special man, Mr. Lewis. I came to the D.C. area in 2000. I had a 6-week-old baby and had just left my job as a consultant. I was looking for something meaningful to do in my new home. I became involved with a charity in Northern Virginia that selects a worthy nonprofit partner every year and raises funds for them. The fishing school had applied to be that partner in 2001, and fortuitously, I was placed on the due diligence team that went to assess the fishing school for its worthiness. This is where I met Mr. Lewis. I was mesmerized by him from the start. On a wing and a prayer, and with an incredible personal story full of tragedy and perseverance, and against all odds, Mr. Lewis started the fishing school. The more time I spent with him, the more I learned about his story and what he created, the more stuck he became with me. Here I am, 16 years later. I am still mesmerized by you, Mr. Lewis. He's the godfather of my second child, and he hasn't been able to get me off his board. I couldn't be more proud and honored to recognize one of the most inspirational people I have ever met. If we could all be so brave and so selfless as Mr. Lewis to change our own little corners of the world, what a different world this would be. Congratulations, Mr. Lewis. We love you.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. I first met Tom Lewis when we were taking courses at the Student Leadership School run by the Church of Saviors on Columbia Road in the district. Tom had retired from the Washington Police Department, where, as you've heard before, he focused on community relations. We began talking after the class because I had been the U.S. Attorney in the District of Columbia, and Tom and I had a lot to talk about. Tom told me that he was frustrated, that he could not do more for the children he met in the community. He loved them, and they loved him back. They knew it. And a number who had no fathers asked him if he would be their daddy. Tom cried. Tom opened a school, as you've also heard, on Wiley Street in Northeast Washington. It was a tiny row house because he went making in after the school and haven for kids. Tom called it the fishing school because he wanted to teach these kids to eat for a lifetime. Tom asked me to come and visit. I did. The neighborhood was tough. Broken glass, empty soda cans, trash and dirt all around. But inside was warm and welcoming. Volunteers served hot meals, maybe the only hot meal that the kids had for that day. Volunteers that Tom gathered together were the instructors, supplementing the teaching the kids had learned about. Some of these kids needed extra care and tutoring in certain subjects. They were having trouble keeping up. This is the dream that Tom created, a safe place for kids to be cared for. Tom asked if I would serve on the board of directors of his new creation. How could I not do so? That was more than 20 years ago. Why am I still here? Tom and his dream to help kids. He cares so much. So from the Wiley Street to Meade Street, around 20 years, a lot of help, work, and a lot of caring for our current executive director, Leo Gibbs. The dream to help the kids has become so much larger and more relevant and important. Leo is doing a great job to implement Tom's dream. It has been an honor and a privilege to be associated with Tom and the school. Thank you so much, Tom, and I'm so glad to have an opportunity to help and participate in this wonderful celebration in behalf of a truly great person, great human being. Thank you very much.
As you heard from both Terry and Earl, our longest-serving board members, the fishing school has had a tremendous history, and that history was started by Mr. Tom Lewis, but continues on today, largely through the works of our executive director and our staff who implement the programs on a daily basis. This winter, the board members had an opportunity to participate in one of those educational experiences that the work that goes on every day as part of the fishing school. We went to a local elementary school, and each board member had to teach a different class. None of us are educators ourselves, so you talk about a humbling experience. I had a group of third graders who asked me questions not just on the exercise, but you name a personal topic and there was a question that was asked. What I learned from that experience is that the youth of our city need the work of the fishing school. What I learned from that experience is that the youth of our city benefit from the work of the fishing school. And as a board member, and on behalf of the board and the rest of the staff, we're so fortunate to be a part of that every day. You've heard a lot of talk tonight about the past of the fishing school. The board and the staff represent the present and the future of the fishing school. And your participation here shows that what we have started will continue and thrive and be successful. With that, we have a photo montage, Mr. Lewis, of 50 years of your service, which you can take with you and look at every day on behalf of the board and staff. Thank you.